kill my baby. I don't wish this on nobody.
Police say that 21-year-old Kidn King turned himself in here to police headquarters last night.
Go away, bitch. Don't come over here. Karen, call the cops. Call the... It's all these kids in here. Call the cops, you dumb bitch. He coming around the window. Go that way, Cameron. Yeah, bitch. Go away. Bye.
October 4th, 2025, a bright and beautiful 23-year-old woman named Kada vanished into the night, and no one knew why. She had just finished her shift at a nursing home in Philadelphia, smiling as she waved goodbye to her coworkers. But that would be the last time anyone saw her alive. Just days earlier, Kada had confided in friends that she'd been getting strange, harassing phone calls, and they were becoming more frequent. On social media, she hinted that someone was watching her. Someone who wouldn't leave her alone. Most people brushed it off as a misunderstanding. But looking back now, those messages feel chilling, almost like a warning of what was to come. Investigators would later uncover a trail of digital footprints, text messages between Kada and a man who called himself Kel. One message from Kada read, "Kidnap me again." Was it a joke between friends, or a cry for help hidden behind nervous laughter? That night, cameras caught two figures near an abandoned school. Hours later, the same car returned, this time with one person struggling to carry something heavy into the woods. 2 weeks later, behind that same abandoned school, police would make a discovery that confirmed everyone's worst fears. What happened to Kada? Who was Kel? And could this tragedy have been prevented? Stay with me because the truth behind this case is darker and far more disturbing. Let's find it out. This story takes us to Philadelphia, a city that proudly calls itself the city of brotherly love. But behind that slogan lies another truth. Beneath its skyline and history, Philadelphia is a city constantly fighting to survive. And it's here, in this very city, that 23-year-old Kada tried to build her own version of the American dream. She was young, driven, and full of light. A recent Penn State graduate with a degree in communications, Kada was described by those who loved her as creative, soft-spoken, and deeply passionate. She was a woman of many talents, into fashion, music, fitness, and cooking. She even launched her own small fashion line and ran social media accounts that showed how ambitious she was. Her posts radiated confidence and optimism, the kind that made people believe she was destined for something big. But behind those smiles and filtered photos, something darker was brewing. Just 2 weeks into her new job as a nursing assistant at the terrace at Chestnut Hill, Kada confided in friends that she had been receiving harassing phone calls from someone she didn't recognize. Around that same time, her followers noticed strange details in her photos, reflections that hinted someone else might have been watching her. Then came October 4th, 2025. Kada arrived for her overnight shift like any other night. But sometime around 9:45 p.m., she left before her shift was over, without explanation, without warning. That was the last time anyone saw her alive. Her phone went dark soon after. Messages stopped. Her social media, once active every day, suddenly fell silent. Days later, police would uncover text messages linking Kada to a man named King. What started as casual communication would soon lead investigators to believe he was the last person to see her alive. What happened between that phone call, that message, and her disappearance? would soon unravel into one of Philadelphia's most chilling murder cases. Police say that on the night she vanished, Kada Scott may have been inside a 1999 metallic gold Toyota Camry, license plate MSX0797. That detail would soon become the thread investigators desperately tried to pull. Flyers were printed, her photo shared across social media, and police urged anyone who might have seen that car to come forward. Witnesses later claimed the vehicle was spotted near a small park not far from where Kada worked, a quiet stretch of land that by day looks peaceful, but at night turns into a place where shadows stretch and secrets hide. As the hours turned into days, panic began to spread. Kada's phone remained dark. No bank activity. No social media updates. Nothing. Her family, who once believed this was all a misunderstanding, now feared something much worse. Detectives from the Philadelphia Police Department went all in, canvassing the area, reviewing surveillance footage, and tracking phone records. But every lead seemed to vanish as quickly as it appeared. The case was soon reassigned to Philadelphia's Homicide Unit, a sign that the situation had taken a darker turn. Although authorities hadn't officially declared it a homicide, the whispers behind the scenes were clear. Something terrible had happened. Meanwhile, public tension grew. People online demanded answers. News outlets replayed her smiling photos beside the chilling words, "Still missing." Her family released a heartfelt plea, begging anyone with information to come forward. "If you've seen the car, if you know anything," her mother said through tears, "please just say something. She's out there somewhere." Then came what everyone prayed would be the turning point, a breakthrough, or at least that's what it seemed at first. On October 15th, nearly 2 weeks after Kada Scott vanished, police announced the arrest of 21-year-old Kidn King. His name quickly spread across headlines, tied to one word that sent chills through the city: kidnapping. But to those who knew the streets of Philadelphia, King's name wasn't unfamiliar. He was already whispering about the kind of man who'd had run-ins with trouble before, someone who carried the quiet reputation of being volatile, especially around women. Court records later revealed that earlier in the year, King had faced kidnapping and strangulation charges involving another young woman. But that case had fallen apart when the victim failed to appear in court. The case was quietly dismissed, forgotten by the system. Nobody could have imagined that the same man would soon be accused in one of Philadelphia's most disturbing disappearances. A former acquaintance came forward online, sharing her own chilling experience. Her post went viral, detailing how King's charm could flip to aggression in seconds. She described him as obsessive, controlling, and unpredictable. "I saw the way he looked at her," she wrote. "That wasn't love, it was possession." Those words would later echo painfully true. After King's arrest, police descended on the areas connected to him: wooded lots, abandoned properties, and the location where Kada's gold Toyota Camry was last seen. The air was thick with tension as cadaver dogs combed through brush and debris, their handlers hoping for even the faintest trace of scent. Drones buzzed overhead, capturing aerial views of the crime scene, while forensic teams searched for blood, fibers, or anything that could tell them what really happened that night. They found the car burned and stripped of evidence, but Kada wasn't there. For days that was the headline: suspect arrested, victim still missing. The silence was deafening, from Kada's phone, which had gone dark the night she vanished, and from the man now behind bars, who refused to say a word about where she might be. Authorities stayed cautious in their statements. They confirmed that King and Kada knew each other briefly, exchanging texts and possibly meeting up the evening she disappeared. It wasn't clear if their connection was romantic, friendly, or something more sinister. But detectives were beginning to see a pattern, one that pointed to manipulation and control. Philadelphia Assistant District Attorney Ashley Toxilowski revealed that investigators had uncovered damning evidence. King's cell phone location placed him near a wooded area behind an abandoned school, the same place where Kada's remains would later be found. Cell tower data showed his phone had been active during a window of time that aligned with the burning of a vehicle believed to have been used to move her body. On October 18th, just 3 days after his arrest, the search came to a heartbreaking end. In the quiet woods behind the Ada H. Lewis Middle School in East Germantown, detectives found human remains buried in a shallow grave. DNA testing confirmed what everyone feared: it was Kada Scott. The medical examiner ruled her death a homicide, caused by a gunshot wound to the head. The announcement shattered the city. Outside the Scott family home, neighbors gathered with candles and flowers. A family that once begged for help finding their daughter now found themselves preparing for her funeral. On social media, her friends flooded timelines with photos: Kada smiling, laughing, dancing. A young woman who once shared her dreams online was now a headline. Her family released a statement that broke hearts across the internet. With heavy hearts, we share that our beloved Kada Scott has been found. Our family is devastated by the confirmation that Kada was taken from us far too soon. The GoFundMe page that once sought funds for search efforts was transformed into a justice and memorial fund. The family vowed that every dollar not used for funeral costs would go toward the Black and Missing Foundation, to help other families searching for loved ones, families living the same nightmare they had just endured. We are deeply grateful, the post continued, to everyone who donated, shared her story, and prayed for Kada's safe return. But even with the arrest, the story was far from over. Online, theories spread like wildfire. Some believed King had an accomplice, pointing to surveillance footage that showed two figures moving something heavy into the woods the night she disappeared. Others speculated that Kada might have tried to leave an abusive situation, and never made it out. Yet through all the noise, one question refused to fade. Why? What pushed a 21-year-old man to allegedly take the life of a woman he barely knew? Was it jealousy, rejection, or something far darker? The evidence began to tell its own story, one of obsession and control, of a man who couldn't stand to lose power over someone who'd chosen freedom. Kada's text to him that night, "Kidnap me again," would later be re-examined not as a joke, but possibly as a sign of fear disguised as humor. Every clue, the unanswered phone calls, the burnt Camry, the phone pings in the woods, all whispered the same haunting truth. This wasn't just a story of a woman who disappeared. It was a story of a woman who was hunted. And even as Philadelphia mourned, the shadows that took Kada still lingered. Because for every case that ends in justice, there are others still waiting. Names we'll never know, faces that never make the news. In the end, Kada Scott's story stands as both a warning and a tragedy. A reminder that sometimes the monsters we fear most aren't strangers in the dark. They're people who once sent us a message, smiled at our posts, and called us by name.
She's the one who shot her. She's the one who shot her. Restraining order, but she shot her. The gun in the car. The gun in the car. Oh my fucking God! I'm the baby in the car. How you feel? She didn't talk her. Get up. You scared as hell, all right? Scared as hell. Keep moving, baby.
Romika Roma Meeks, 31, was the kind of woman who lit up any room she walked into. Her laughter had a way of cutting through gloom, and she found reasons to dance even when life threw her chaos. Friends described her as pure sunshine, a woman who carried joy like a second skin. She was a mother, a friend, a dreamer, and she loved her 5-year-old son more than anything in the world. To most, Roma seemed untouchable, strong, carefree, and full of life. But behind that bright smile, fate was already setting its pieces in motion. No one, not even Roma herself, could have known that her final dance would happen beneath the same Chicago sky she once called home. She loved her son more than anything in this world. Anyone who followed Romika Roma Meeks on social media could see it. Every post, every picture, every caption was a love letter to her little boy. She called him her purpose, her reason for breathing. Even on days when life seemed to push her to her limits, she made sure her son never felt it. Just 3 weeks before her death, Roma shared a heartfelt message online, one that now feels chillingly prophetic. She wrote, "To my son, there is nothing you can't count on me for. Even when my world is falling apart, I'll make sure yours stays perfect. May first grade be great to you. I love you and I'll always be your biggest fan." At the time, no one could have imagined that her words would soon become part of her final goodbye. Her child's father, Carlos Loy, was once the man she believed would build a family with her. But things changed. Beneath the smiles and social media moments was a toxic history, jealousy, control, and manipulation. Carlos, an aspiring rapper nearing 40, wasn't just juggling dreams, he was juggling relationships. He had another woman, another child, and together, they made Roma's life unbearable. She filed for a restraining order, hoping it would give her peace. But as fate would have it, that piece of paper wouldn't stop what was coming. On September 8, 2025, Roma woke up in good spirits. It was a new school day, another morning to walk her son to class, another moment to remind him he was loved. She packed his bag, kissed his forehead, and slipped a small note inside his lunchbox. Read, "My little first grader, may today and every day be wonderful. You are strong, smart, and capable of anything. Mommy will always be your biggest fan." That would be the last message she ever gave him. Minutes after the drop-off, witnesses saw a car pull up. Carlos was inside, along with his new girlfriend, the same woman Roma had feared. Words were exchanged, sharp and heated. The kind of argument that's been simmering for months, just waiting for the right spark. Then it escalated. Roma tried to defend herself, but Carlos allegedly grabbed her, holding her in a chokehold while the other woman, the mother of his other child, reached for a gun. The sound that followed silenced the morning air. A single shot to the face ended Roma's life in an instant. People nearby screamed in disbelief. Some captured the aftermath on their phones, footage too painful to watch. The shooter reportedly claimed, "I have a concealed license to carry," as if that explained anything.
I was standing over there. She shot her.
She's the one who shot her.
She's the one who shot her.
Restraining order, but she shot her.
The gun in the car. Oh my fucking God!
Baby in the car, bro. The baby in the car. How you feel? She didn't talk her. Get up. You scared as hell, all right? Scared as hell. She's scared, buddy.
No, you did. You had it with the car. I saw you.
You were trying to stop her in the car, bro. You were trying to hit the car, bro. What are you talking about? You had her in the headlock. And then you shot her, Brody. I was there. I'll write a statement, Brody. Don't worry about
I
it.
want her arrested. There's a fucking gun on the street. She put the gun in the car. The gun, she shot her. Let's go right here. She shot her. She shot her. She put the gun in the car. She put the gun in the car. The gun in the car.
The city was left reeling. Why did it come to this? Why would one mother take the life of another, both raising children, both standing outside a school? Later that day, Carlos went online and wrote, "The worst day of my life." But his words fell flat. The internet erupted in anger. One comment read, "Boy, I didn't see a single tear in that video." Others echoed the same, disbelief, fury, heartbreak. It was a crime that broke hearts across Chicago. A mother murdered in front of the man she once loved, the father of her child, while the world she built around love and motherhood came crashing down in seconds. To those who knew her best, she was simply Roma, a woman whose joy could light up any room, whose laughter was as infectious as her kindness. According to CBS News Chicago, both Carlos Loy, Roma's ex-boyfriend and father of her child, and his new girlfriend were taken into police custody after the shooting. Witnesses had described Carlos holding Roma in a chokehold while his girlfriend fired the fatal shot. Yet within hours, both were released. The shooter, a woman known to Roma, reportedly claimed self-defense. Prosecutors, citing insufficient evidence, declined to file charges, a decision that poured salt into wounds already bleeding. Roma's family, already shattered, couldn't believe it. They argued she was unarmed, that there was no reason, no threat, no justification for what happened. One of Roma's relatives spoke through tears. "You had every opportunity to walk away. You could have called the police, you could have gotten in your car and driven off."
Please, y'all. Please stop sharing them poses of my sister, please. Please stop sharing that post of my baby sister on that ground, please. Get y'all, please. For my mama and for me and my siblings' sake. Please, y'all. My sister is gone. Yes, she is. Please.
Let Jenna get out, cuss their ass out.
Please, I see y'all calling everything. I can't. I'm doing this to let y'all know I am very broken. Me and my family is broken. Please, y'all, please. Give us some time to respond, to talk to y'all, to anything. Please, y'all. My baby sister is gone. Please. The worst is pain ever. I just want y'all to understand. If y'all never understand in y'all life, I didn't know I had to do. Anybody lost a sibling, y'all, I don't know. I didn't know this hurt like this. Please, y'all, stop sharing that video of my sister. Put up good pictures of her if y'all gonna post her. Put up good pictures of her. Please don't post her on that ground dead, please, y'all. I swear to God, it's the worst day of my life. I ain't looking for no sympathy, but I'm asking y'all to please. Jealousy is a motherfucker. A nigga ain't shit. And when a nigga think they can do you like that, you did wrong and you wanted to hurt somebody that you hurt. Nobody did anything to you. You sister and that girl, please, I'm asking y'all, can y'all please just don't post that video on my baby sister and in that girl. She is gone. Yes, she's gone, y'all. She's gone. She's gone. My mama is having a heart attack of my life and my siblings. Please, y'all. Please, her family is mourning. This is a real big loss, y'all. Please, please. I will respond to y'all later. I can't right now. I'm so broken and tore up. Please, y'all. I'm trying to hold everybody at once and hold myself. Our kids, everything. Please, y'all, give us a time. Please, please. Please, 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 please. If I ever been strong in my life, y'all, I need every day. Pray, pray, pray for me, y'all.
To them, this wasn't just a confrontation gone wrong, it was murder, plain and simple. Roma was taken to Stroger Hospital, but it was too late. Doctors pronounced her dead from a gunshot wound to the face. The woman who once dreamed of becoming a nurse, who was studying to build a better life for her son, would never finish her journey. Her family described her as an outstanding mom who always showed up for her son, a pure soul, and the life of her friend group. They said she was working hard, rebuilding her life after heartbreak, trying to co-parent peacefully despite everything she had endured. But now, instead of planning her graduation or her next family trip, Roma's loved ones are preparing for her son's 7th birthday, without his mother. The balloons and cake will feel hollow, the laughter forced, the empty chair a constant reminder of what was taken from them. Her mother, desperate for answers, said she called the state's attorney's office countless times. Each call met with silence. No updates. No accountability. Just unanswered questions and growing anger. The Cook County State's Attorney's Office released a statement saying that, after reviewing the evidence, there was not enough to make a charging decision at this time. They promised to continue working with police as the investigation unfolds, words that feel hollow to those left grieving. But for Roma's family, time is not easing the pain. It's deepening. Each day that passes without justice feels like another betrayal, another reminder that her death, like so many others in Chicago, risks being forgotten. Beneath the city's glittering skyline, another candle burns. One more mother gone too soon, one more son left wondering why his mommy isn't coming home. And in the quiet of that small boy's bedroom, somewhere in Chicago, perhaps the most haunting reminder of all remains: a crumpled note in a child's lunchbox, written by a mother who promised she'd always be there. A promise she tried to keep, even as the world took her away. Let me know your thoughts regarding these cases in the comments below, and as always, stay safe out there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.